Alright, hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hope you guys are having a good Thursday evening. And here we go with another one of these. And tonight we're painting, guess what? More Aristeia. Okay, and so we've got a lot of Aristeia characters in for commission. And they take a little bit longer. So even though it's not that many total models compared to what I normally paint or what I've sometimes have been known to paint, it's still going to take a while. But let's get you caught up with where I'm at right now, what I've been painting, and anything else that you need to know about me or my life. We can totally talk about that. All right, so yeah, I've been kind of working our way through this stuff here. You could see there is some Bixie going on right there, or Bishi. I don't know how you say it. Bishi? I don't know. Let's see if I can actually get this camera to focus a little bit better. It could be sharper, don't you think? There we go. Oh, little Bishi action there. You can see she's got a few different colors going on with the true metallics that I've painted on her. All right, very fun model so far. We've got, let's see, the first model I actually worked on was this this guy from the Chemical Brothers here, and so you've got a lot of different teeny tiny little colors in here. I think I do need to paint. I need to paint a little bit of brightness at the center of these. So let's go ahead and let's just take care of that right now, just so that we have those on the miniature, and we get that the little bright, you know what I mean? The little bright thing on these. Obviously, you can quote me on the little swing if you want, but you need that, right? It's that tiny, it's that last little detail on there. It's really gonna make this thing pop, right? That last little swing, right? Well, it to just be this like blob on there. We actually kind of want to feather that in, right? Right? So a little swing there, a little swing here. And I can bring this all the way up to white if I want. That would give it a little, really put a fine point on that swing. Okay. And then here. Okay. So we're just, the plan for tonight, we're just going to do a little bit of painting. If anyone wants to talk about Aristeia AGL Season 4, I can break that out and we can have a little discussion about what these rules, the rules for Season 4 mean for those of us who want to play AGL official Season 4 rules. All right, so there's that dude. He's looking pretty cool so far. We also have sticking with, so I painted the kind of metallic models first here. So here is Axle Steel. Let's do, since we got the little swing color out, we can do a little bit, hey, what's up, Chris? We could do a little bit of detail work on Axle here. So we'll get him going. We'll get a couple of these going, and then yeah, the plan tonight is to just kind of have a look at those AGL Season 4 rules, while we just get a little bit of details on these, and then continue on with this large group of Aristeia models. Okay, not really sure why that did not update. I need this to. There we go. All right. Just making sure my chat window works there, so I'm not looking back and forth at my other screen. How are you doing tonight? You working on anything fun painting wise? Okay. So there we go there. They're just doing a little bit of detail level work on axle steel here. Okay. All right. I'm pretty happy with him. He does not need much in terms of his design. He's a pretty simple, straightforward design. As far as Aristeia minis go, they can get a little intricate. Highlighting all 9 ring rates on horses and on foot. Finished the 3 large flying now. Oh, cool. Nicely done. Okay. And I do want to actually highlight, let's come in with a little silver and see if I can highlight this last bit. Hey, what's up, Nelson? Yeah, so we're getting a look at some axle steel right now. And let's paint in a little bit of the swing lights on the back here, and then do some highlights on this dude. So yeah, decided with these guys that I did want to use true metallics, because it will allow me to play around a little bit more. The designs look perfect with them, and you can have all kinds of nice little color intricacy in these. All right, let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do a little bit of true metallic highlighting without wrecking my brushes. That's my main concern here. So we're going to use this silver Game Air color. All right. So we're just going straight in because it is a Vallejo Air color. Does not need thinning. And I'm just going to apply this in specific spots where I want there to be a highlight. So you could see things like, see that there's a little color transition there on the shoulder. I want to break that up a little bit with a silver highlight back in here. And back through here. All right. I wasn't a big fan of this guy's design, but now that we're getting some paint on him, he's starting to grow on me quite a bit. He's looking pretty cool there. All right, and all I need to do is just get a little bit of this silver in specific spots where I want, where your eyes would catch a hard edge, basically. Okay. Yeah, he's looking pretty good though. All right. What are you up to, Nelson? Just chilling? Okay. And then as a reminder, I do have a paint day going on this Saturday at Comic Quest. We're going to be painting the Zombie Ogre, which is a WizKid kit. It comes with paints and brushes that are supposed to be pretty good. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyways, hey, what's up? What's up, Michael? Cool. So a little axle steel, looking pretty good. Spent the whole day fixing your resume. That's good. That's productive. Good luck on the job search. Yeah, I like him. Chris. Okay. So there's Axel Steel. I think Nelson, you saw this guy so far. Um, so continuing down the true metallics, and you saw some Bixie earlier. She's fun. A little Chun-Li with the metallics there. Um, and then the other person to get a bunch of metallics is going to be Hippolyta. And she's looking pretty sharp. Honestly, there's not much left to do on her. Oh, how are the latest presents? I'm actually saving. I haven't assembled them yet because this desk is covered in paint right now. But after this paint day, it won't be because I'm going to have to pack up these paints, bring them to CQ, and then I can set up the brush station at that point. So we're getting there. We will get there. Let's do a little bit of highlighting on Hippolyta's weapon. So yeah, it's true. I normally do not like true metallics. They're not because of how they look, because they look okay in this scale. One criticism of true metallics is they look a little unrealistic in small scale like that. I mean, yes and no. They look fine to me. But the criticism I have of true metallics is mainly how they wreck brushes. So yeah, paint day is something I do about every other month at CQ. Michael is all host of paint day. Sometimes it's around a specific miniature. Sometimes there's just like a miniature of the month that we all work on and turn on together. Their attendance for paint days have been pretty poor lately because of COVID, which makes a lot of sense. And it's been a mixed little blessing for us because it does mean that I get to set up a gaming table typically during a paint day, and so we can play pickup games of Guild Ball, Aristeia, Batman, you name it. We've played a lot. I like Aristeia for paint days because it's a much more portable game, and yeah, and I'm having so much fun with it right now. So a couple things to point out on this model. So I did use some Turbo Dork blue, the Dabadi color, which is pretty nice. And then if you look, there's little hints of purple in the shading. So I've been having just some fun playing around with true metallics and lighting and that kind of thing. Just trying to make this all look pretty cool for people. Okay. So we'll get on these, and then in a minute here, I'm actually going to break out. We're going to do a little screen share, and then we'll start talking about Aristeia AGL Season 4 rules, which I'm excited to talk about because we are going to be running a hosted event with Aristeia, and as a community, we can actually talk about whether or not to implement these rules for our local events, right? So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to bring it in tonight. Like we could either, the options are we could use AGL, official AGL rules, which is kind of where I'm leaning, just because I want to be more official if we're gonna, log things on the AGL tournament circuit and that sort of thing. Nelson, if you have a particular color you want this cloth to be other than white, let me know. I think white looks fantastic, but I am open to suggestions if you want to do that. You're looking for plane tickets to fly down for Extra Life. Fantastic, man. Yeah, let me know. I'm holding that Metal NG's team for you. And then good luck anyone who's going to be bidding on the miners, who are currently only like $71, which is crazy for a painted miners team with Alt Colossus and Alt Salvo. It's quite a steal right now. So let's see how that goes. And again, that stuff and a portion of all the commissions and so forth are going to go into my Extra Life campaign. I actually have to put in the amount for this week, so it's good. White is great. Okay, let's do that. The other thing I'm going to do is we're going to do a little screen share here. Okay, so I'm going to include a little window here at the bottom. Okay, so let's see how this goes. There we go. I don't even know. I know you guys won't be able to read this. All right, it's fine. It's actually I can go like this, and then no, I don't want. Let's just do that for a minute here. Now move that to there. Okay, so here's some new things with AGL Season 4. So this is the Aristeia Game League. So these are your official league rules. Okay, these are not basically the same. That is like the basic rules that are in the rule books. Okay. So anyways, here we go with AGL Season 4. One of the first things that they point out is that there are no more sponsors, which is good. I mean, we didn't play with sponsors at all because we've only been playing, one-off games. Sponsors, I believe, helped you with. I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. There's no more sponsors, so that's cool. All right. Yeah, it was just another thing to remember, and I'm super happy that they got rid of it. Okay, let's go over some of the rules. Critical success. We have removed this special rule, so we will keep using the rule in the AGL reference guide. I'm not even sure what that means. All I can say is critical success, as I understood it, was always you can turn in critical. You basically turn in the critical success for two stars. I think AGL had things where you could turn it in for other stuff, but that's how I understand critical success. And let me know if I'm totally wrong or off base with that one. Yeah, let me know, Michael, about the NGs. That's fine, dude. No worries. Contender. Okay, so contender, as it stands, is a 1 through 8 ranged attack, and it's 1 orange and costing 3 energy. It's a desperation type attack. So one of the things that they've done is they've reduced the range of contender. So I believe contender is now down to a 1 to 6 in the new rules. So that's one thing they did. Tactics and frags, and this is something I think, Chris, you and I were talking about the other day. Frags, we were just handing out tactics cards upon receiving a frag token, but in the AGL, they make you wait until the end of the round to get your tactics that you've gained from frags. And what they've done in Season 4 here is they've taken that to really only give you one tactic at the end of the round in any round in which you've earned a frag. Okay, so they nerfed that pretty hard, right? Because it may have been, maybe they were thinking it was a little too rewarding of, super killy teams. that killy teams may have been a little too strong in terms of just continually racking up tactics. So now you only get one at the end of the round, regardless of how many frags you got, as long as you got one frag. So a bit of a nerf there to tactics and frags. Rerolls. Okay. It looks like they wanted to just clarify that the die can only be rerolled once. You cannot reroll a reroll. That's the rule as I understood it in Aristeia, but I guess that there other players were finding loopholes to that. All right, now here's where it gets really interesting. Is we're going to talk about states a little bit because states they've changed a lot. States get really interesting in here. All right, so let's go over some of the different changes to states. Hey, what's up, David? Moffat, welcome to the feed. We're taking a little break from the painting, and we're going to talk about Aristeia Game League Season 4 changes, and let's get into this. So, stunned. Uh-oh. Hold on one second, guys. All right. Well, it, so my 4-year-old is still being a 4-year-old. He's going to be, it looks like he's going to be up for a little bit. I'm going to try to get him down here. He may be disruptive of our feed here. So if you guys will just give me a few minutes, I'm going to bring him down so he can play. Hopefully he plays in the next room. If not, you may hear a little guy talking. He's an insomniac, man. He won't sleep. Anyways, give me a couple of minutes while I go get him. Okay, so we're gonna hope for the best here. He's playing, he's throwing balls around, saying, "Look out for meteors." So we'll look out for meteors as we go over some of these AGL Season 4 changes. The first change is to stunned. So stunned originally is allows you to remove 1 star from a result that is on one of your opponent's die. But the change here is they're going to allow you to override any symbol, whether that be a star, shield, or a trigger. That makes stunned, that is a significant buff to stunned, and it gives characters like Locksmith a little bit more flexibility. So her amazing D/buffer um, ability becomes amazing with the change to stunned here. So nice little buff there to players who use stunned. Marked. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a nerf here. Okay, so in AGL 4, marked allows you to re-roll one die of a roll against an enemy affected by this state. And note that it's any type of roll against an enemy that is marked. That is incredibly strong, and really the only character that I know of that was making really extensive use of the marked state was Prism. You know her, you love her. She was best girl number 2 for me. I still love playing Prism, but this hurts her the most because now when players are forced to attack her, even when they're forced to use things like Contender and that kind of thing on her, they're going to be able to re-roll a die. So a bit of a nerf there to Prism and her ability to exploit the mark state. Moving on to Hidden. So now you've got now with Hidden, the Hidden player gets to re-roll a die when a character is affected by this state. So when characters that are coming out of Hidden, like Dart or say Corey Queen, for example, they get a significant advantage coming out of Hidden, right? Because you can't use stars against them in the defensive role, and now they get to re-roll a die. So best girl Dart, she gets a nice little buff here. Prism gets a bit of a nerf. All right, so overall, I'm pretty happy, right? Best girl gets a buff. Second best gets a slight nerf. I'm okay with this. We're okay. Really nice change to Hidden, and frankly, Hidden was already pretty strong. I don't, from a total balance standpoint, I don't necessarily agree with this change. But okay, whatever. I'll still quietly be happy about it. All right, Silenced. Okay, this is a super powerful effect. Silence will prevent the use of switches and other effects. So silence will be silence. It's a good strong ability. It's still very strong to begin with. Hey, what's up, Sean? We're just going over AGL Season 4 rules here. So that's a nice little buff to silence. I don't see much silenced on the board, anyways, with the characters that we run. But still, silence was strong to begin with. Anyways, all right, so here we go. Offensive and defensive bonus. So they've made some changes to the tournament point system. None of this applies to us yet. But you can see here, you get more VP than your opponent. You get 3 points for a victory. I believe that is still the same as it was. 1 point for a tie, 0 points for a defeat. I don't think any of that has changed. And then you get an offensive bonus of +1. This is what they've added. So you gain if you get 5 or more VP. This is a nice buff to very close games. So if you're losing a game 8-6 or whatever, then yeah, okay. Yeah, he gets really loud. This is what we were worried about. But hold on one sec. All right, gonna take another minute break here, guys. 1 sec. Okay. Hey guys, we are back. Let me go ahead and let's finish up this last section here. So you get a defensive bonus here for losing by 2 VP or less. Uh, so this is kind of nice, right? So you can get you could potentially get a tournament score of 3-2 from playing a very tight, close game, and I like that a bit. So 3-2 score there. Let's like I was saying, if you lost a game that was 8-6, that would be a 3-2 game. So I'm pretty happy about that. I like that. There isn't a massive incentive to totally just dominate your opponent and try to score 8-0 on them. So pretty happy with that. That looks pretty good. Let's see. All this part, now we're in the area that I really didn't look at all. I just say, I'm going to look at this awesome shot there. Looks like Parvati again. I could be. I don't know. Could be wrong there. Okay. So this is interesting. So it looks like they've changed some of the rules on some of the stadiums, or 2 new stadiums. So Riverside Field, this is an Ariadne. This is an Ariadne map. And it looks like when you have cover on this map, you get to add 2 black dice. That's super strong if you're Luna. So, so if you're Major Luna, you're gonna want to play on Riverside Field because your targets don't get this bonus, and you get to add 2 orange to your attack if you're Major Luna. That's ridiculous. All right, so that's where you want to play her. Archangel City. It looks like this is the home to Prism. All right, already a fan. Characters who do not spend at least 1 movement point during their activation receive the -2 movement state at the end of their state step. So you got like a kind of a freezing scenario there. What's interesting though is even though this is Prism's home map, this sounds like a pretty significant buff to characters like Valkyrie, for example, that really want to keep moving all the time. Valkyrie, Gata, Bikshi, those are characters that are gonna do well on that type of map. All right, let's look at some scenarios. Let's see. We've removed the scenarios. Uh-oh. King of the Hill. I was just starting to like that one. Carnage, Broken Land, and Frenzied Dance. So that's concerning. And again, I have not been this far down the page, so I hope that they've done other things. Let's see. They've added Conquest with a small improvement. Okay, that sounds good. And Hunter and Prey is a new scenario. So now you've got Conquest, Hunter and Prey. Conquest, Hunter and Prey, and then I guess we're keeping Capture the Flag and Human Target. So pretty happy with that. Let's have a look. Maybe they didn't add me. Where is this? I guess maybe it's in the actual maybe there's like a download document. Okay, and then a little section here about Primetime, which I'm super amped about. This is the 2v2 mod for Aristeia. I don't think that they've added anything in this section other than what we already know about Primetime. Being a 2v2 game, you've got a shared activation board here. Each player controls one Aristo, and there's no infirmary. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and it looks like we can go to the AGL rules here. Let's have a look. So far, I'm pretty happy with that. I was just starting to like King of the Hill, but sorry Padre fans. He just lost his like major his major scenario there. I just we're not going to go through all this, but what I do want to do is I do want to look at what that hunter and prey. Play in the other room. All right, here we go. So, let's see if we can go to Hunter and Prey. I'm going to show it. I need to actually go through and read these full rules before we do our first official Aristeia event. I just want to see. Oh, we got league rules. That's kind of cool. I don't know who would be interested in playing an Aristeia league. I think that would be super fun. All right. I hope that my only concern with league rules is I don't want there to be an excess of record keeping. Never been a fan of that. I don't need to have all these extra rules on top of the league rules. Should really just be designed on encouraging people to get in games over a period of time, not necessarily like grow characters or that kind of thing. I've never been a fan of that. When they did that in Guild Ball, I was never really a fan of that, which is one of the reasons why I think we never really put together that kind of league ever for Guild Ball, just because nobody wants to keep track of that and remember what their characters have and that kind of thing. Yeah, it looks like you get equipment. Nah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to look at it. This looks like too much fluff, I guess. All right, now open event rules. That's cool. Where are the actual scenarios though here? I guess they did not. I didn't see any scenario rules. Did you guys see any? I was hoping to see that hunter and prey scenario, but I do not see it there. So it looks like. So here's the AGL scenarios that you can run. Assault. I thought they just said they took Scorched Earth out, but it looks like it's still here. Conquest is in. Blitz is. I thought they removed Blitz as well. Capture the flag, Witch Land, and Gates of Fire. They don't have human target in here, which is interesting. So no football. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, it's going to take a little time to review all this. See, like, what? Why do you, this is, I don't, so I guess you're basically paying to add these characters? Eh. Oh, okay. So in this version of a league rule, you start off they tell you the characters that you start off with, and then you start to recruit more Aristos into that original 8. It looks like. I don't know, man. I'd rather have a more open form league where people can play what they want to play, and we just basically just do record keeping of wins, losses, and that sort of thing. At best, maybe you you award someone with some extra tactics at the beginning of a game, right? Like, oh, I won my last game. I get to start off with 5 tactics instead of 4 tactics or something like that. That's how I would have tried to keep this simple. But again, that's just me. Any comments or questions or anything? Any comments or any thoughts around using these AGL rules for our regular games? And when I say that, I don't really mean these rules, because these are really the tournament rules, but I'm talking about these rules here where they've made some changes to states, where they've changed how you draw and deal tactics depending on frags. You can see contender there has gone to 1 to 6 range. So I'm talking about implementing these rules in our local games while we figure out, the actual my brain isn't working. Organized play rules. Anyways, I will have a deeper look at this later. Right now, I'm just kind of enjoying the artwork. Right? So many great... Aristeia just aesthetically such a cool... let's see. AGL changes for standard games are... I can't read your comment. One sec. Let me close this window real quick. They are fine. Yeah, I agree. Let's learn. I mean, I would prefer to just learn to use the states that way. I'm wondering, do we want to? Well, I guess this depends on the opponents. But if you're playing a game against me, I would prefer to use the scenarios that they're offering here. So we wouldn't run King of the Hill. We wouldn't run some of the other things that they removed just because, if that's not going to be in the official tournaments, why practice around it, right? It's a bummer, though. I did really like King of the Hill. It makes sense, though, that they changed the frag rule because that's kind of how you can turn the tide in King of the Hill. If you're having a hard time holding the hill against a really dominant castle type opponent, that you can, if you can start to kill them, then you start to gain that tactics advantage mid-turn and start to turn the tide that way. But with the way they changed tactics, I guess, yeah, it kind of makes sense that they're not going to include King of the Hill. So, oh, by the way, so yeah, I don't know. By the way, this is Nelson wanted this sort of split look here on Padre, and I think it looks pretty cool actually. So almost more of like a magma side to him. You can see I got going here, where half of him is like charred out, and then I added these little kind of like burning embers here on the wings. So pretty cool effect. Just needs a little bit of detail work and a little bit of touch up. But I don't know. If you're still here, Nelson, let me know what you think. If this is a good look, or if you want me to change direction. It's not too late to start moving another direction, but I really liked what you did. It's your idea here. It's definitely more interesting than the standard box art. So yeah. Let's see. I would recommend we start doing character drafting to get that down. Yeah, agree, Chris. I think the last time you and I played, we drafted, which was cool. But Jason playing, he's brand new, so he's just getting all the best things. Musashi and Wild Bill, amazing. Where was that thing? Where's that leaderboard? I wanted to see. Uh, they had a leaderboard here that showed like top frags and everything per Aristo. Where is it? Yeah, I guess I don't see it here. It's a bummer. Also, um, oh, I'm okay. Good. I'm glad you like it, Nelson. This was very fun. So I still have. So here's what I'm working on. They may be done by Saturday, which is what I'm hoping for. So still working on Eclipse. She's looking more like the studio art, which is just super super dark. Um, Got to finish the other chemical brother here. Hey, what's up, Jose? Hey, Jeff is in the chat. What's up, Jeff? Yeah. How's it going, buddy? Um, so the other chemical brother, have not really done anything on stock dart. I've actually, fun fact, I've never painted stock dart ever. Every dart that I've painted, and it's been like 4 or 5, has all been the very fancy limited dart. And then also, we also have Alt Hexer here, which is just a fantastic sculpt. So some fun things on the horizon, but I'm going to try to get this done by Saturday, so that Nelson, so that you can break some of these new toys out and play them. So yeah, I totally, yeah, I like what Chris is saying, that we start to implement drafting. If you're playing against me, I'm gonna roll scenario based on what's in the AGL document. So we won't be doing necessarily the standard 4 in the book. Yeah, rip King of the Hill. But Padre is still Padre. He's still amazing. He's just not going to have, his super, super dominant scenario. Stock dart is not fun to paint. Why isn't she fun to paint? Curious, Sean. Let me know, man. What do you think? Why isn't stock dart fun to paint? Yeah, let's get some detail going here on Hippolyta. I do like this blue. The blue is quite nice. I feel like I do need a kind of a third color in this mix here. So there's a little bit of purple if you're looking hard enough, but I feel like I need another blue shade. So I think what we're gonna do is, I have a couple of choices. We could either do the night blue, which in my opinion is a little too washed out. It's a little too close to black. Let me see if we have blue ink. Blue ink, I think, would work very well in this scenario. Or who knows? I mean, you could even do like a hint of green in here. Promo dart. They're so good. Promo dart is the best promo model, because she's the only metal Aristeia model whose assembly I actually agree with. Ooh, this is a fun little Arctic blue. It's not intense enough though. Let's see. Here's some Vallejo blue ink. That's a kind of an older bottle. I hope this thing is okay. She isn't as interesting as the alt one, yeah. Still debating whether to add Hippolyta. The initiative boost is I think she comes in as a late pick depending on who else goes into your team, because I think what happens, what would happen in drafting is you may find that you've got a lot of low initiative in your early picks. Like maybe you went like Maximus Gaia in your early pick, and you're like, I really, really, really need to be on both sides of the board and control the middle at the same time. So I'm going to pick the super tank, and I'm going to pick the super floaty girl with her super snacky robots. So maybe that happens, and you're realizing, oh man, would love to have, you know, would love to have an initiative 4 character as a support character, and then you're like, wow, my initiative sucks. And I want to have a little bit of a mobile hitty character, then maybe that's where she comes into your draft. But I don't know. I don't know that I would. The only thing I would say is just play her lots. Then, if you think if you like her sculpt and you want to see her on the board, do what we did with Prism and field her lots and lots, because she'll click. You'll figure it out, and then that's my theory. Is I think pretty much all the characters in Aristeia are pretty good. Even I can't figure out Tao Wu, and Chris runs Tao Wu pretty well. So like I want to figure him out. So I'm gonna try to force myself to get him into more lineups. Hippolyta, yeah, so we're getting some Chris commentary on Hippolyta. I mean, I've never actually even fielded her. I've played against her a bunch of times, but she's never really made any of my teams. I'm going to say this. I think I may like her plastic pose better than her metal one. I know, shocker. Shocker, right? I'm so pro metal when it comes to Aristeia. But I think this is kind of nice. And yeah, we're going to punch up this blue a little bit. It's blue ink. All right. Okay. I'm kind of a fan of that. Good night, Jeff. Hippolyta, it's nice for the attack, but the initiative bus seems... Yeah. I mean, Locksme hands out focus, which is amazing. Maybe Hippolyta is fighting for a spot against Valkyrie, who can immobilize people and who has a fantastic mobile attack. Maybe she's battling Musashi for a spot, and we all know Musashi is just awesome. I don't know. I mean, she does look cool. This pose, I like this pose better than the alt pose, because the alt pose, as cool as it is, she's kind of like jumping in the air with her sword, up and kind of behind her, like she's gonna strike down on someone. It's cool, but the way she's jumping off is just kind of weird. The pose itself looks a little awkward. But I do, if I was gonna play her, obviously I'm still a metal snob, so I would want to run that. So yeah, Paula looks looking pretty cool. Let's just to give Nelson a little bit of a framework for how these are going to look on their bases. I figured let's start painting. Let's base coat their bases. I had a mind to just not paint them on their bases and just do color shift bases, which would have been awesome actually. But let's do a little. It might have been awesome to the point where it might have actually detracted from the paint on the model. Still a cool idea. Let's see, where is... So we're gonna go with Archelian green on these bases, which that's what I did on Jose's bases. which I think looks really nice, but the difference, or I could do, I mean, I'll let you choose, Nelson. I could either do Archelian green, or I also think, no, I don't really like that color. The other colors would be pretty dull, frankly. So, never mind. Choice revoked. We're going to do Archelian green on the bases. Because I do think the Archelian green Aristeia bases look awesome. When this like the metal plate that that I typically paint on here. Yeah, I gotta say, this is one of the better plastic sculpts. Just because the pose is really good, the detail is really good. Shoot. Heaven forbid, I might actually put down a plastic model when I'm playing a game of Aristeia. I don't want to. But see, that's pretty nice. The blue gets a little lost, but I think it's nice. It's going to look really great on this guy. But if you don't like this scheme for the metal plate, Nelson, let me know. It's very easy to change this. I can always just basically re-hit it with that with the high covering medium gray and start over. All right, we're talking about Hippolyta metal. And even though I still have quite a bit more to do on Eclipse, I'm going to do her base right now just because it's kind of frustrating. It's kind of defeating to look at a model that's pretty much all black and white. She's got a little bit of yellow on her, but it just looks like you haven't done anything, you know, even after you spent considerable time getting her colors right. So we'll get this down. Okay, so now you can actually see, yes, I have been working on her. Didn't look like I was before. You got Bixi here. She looks like a Chun-Li type. All right. But yeah, I'm glad we were able to go over some of the AGL rules, and I think it'll make our games more interesting. And yes, Jose, I will still feel Dart every game. But yes, she did get buffed because of the buff to the hidden state. But that's not why I field her. You guys know I've been a Dart super fan ever since that alt sculpt came out. One day, Corvus Belli will, maybe they'll come out with an Aristeia metal sculpt that I like better than that Dart sculpt, and then you know, then the title, she'll lose her title. She'll have to earn her spot back on the team. All right. This guy here, you actually won't even see the base because it's buried underneath all this metal. But it's there. I was originally going to go with like a Briareos type Appleseed look for this character, but what this is a bunch of different Turbo Dork paints actually. So you've got Multipass on here, you've got Six Shooter, you've got Pucker, which is my all-time favorite, and then you've got a bunch of those really cool MIG washes. Like you can see if you look, there's like greens, there's like reds, rust colors, there's all kinds of fun stuff. on this model. So yeah, hope you're enjoying these so far, Nelson. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna hit the base, the rim of the base with some black, and then we're gonna call this a pretty early stream here because mainly because I gotta put that little guy to bed. You can hear him still playing. This is bad. I gotta get him up to go to school or preschool in the morning. So this kid is just like an insomniac. FYI, the new AGL and ITS packs are on sale. Cool. Oh, cool. Okay. I need to get me a metal wild bill and a metal Parvati. I will work on that ASAP. Yeah, that confession here, Nelson. That Padre miniature, I'm just not a fan of. I don't think it's just not. And I was kind of hoping to come up with a way to make it look interesting, and your idea was really cool. So your idea, I think, made it look more interesting than the studio art did, right? Yeah, this is a great looking model. I'm going to be very upset to have to face this because I hate Padre and I hate the burning effect. And that's all you need to know. I hate that effect. I hate that effect because it's luck in reverse, right? I keep rolling blank dice when it's my turn to attack, and then when we have to roll burning, I'm rolling double star trigger on orange dice. That's why I hate burning. It's specifically why I hate burning. How's Parvati looking with the update? Well, I guess she wasn't directly affected by the changes to states, but because she can remove states, I guess it's kind of a pocket buff to her because if you end up with one of your characters marked, that could be bad, or silenced, that could be bad as well. So I guess she would have gotten a minor buff. So you can hear my 4-year-old singing. So all right. All right. Yeah, I like this a lot. I do like this way more than I thought I would. Okay. Any questions or comments before we, because I'm going to wrap this up here and try to put this little guy to sleep. Better music than Dice. I guarantee you this, the minute I shut off this feed, this kid is going to go silent. Is when the feed is going, he is just up and yelling and singing, and you know how it goes. The minute the stream goes down, he's just gonna he'll just be quiet and calm and all of those things that those adjectives you would not normally assign to a toddler. All right. But yeah, I'm hoping, honestly, paint days have been very dead. So I'm hoping that if we do have a dead paint day, that maybe we can at least get some Aristeia out and on the board. We can start to try to remember some of these changes to the rules. So, all right. Okay, guys. So yeah, it was a short stream. We only went about an hour or so, but still fairly productive. We got a bunch of these drying right now, and then I'm hoping to wrap up the last 4 tomorrow. Tomorrow night. I don't know if I'm going to turn the camera on, especially if this little guy decides he wants to still be awake. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so I want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.